When it comes to weather hazards, tornadoes and hurricanes justifiably get lots of attention, but they are rather seasonal. But one weather hazard that can make news just about any time of year probably still doesn't get the respect it deserves. And with this being National Weather Service Flood Awareness Week in Pennsylvania, let's try to change that. Now here's a breakdown of weather-related fatalities in the U.S. for 5 different hazards. The blue bars are the averages over the last decade. The maroon bars are the 30-year averages. Because the tornado and hurricane statistics can be dominated by 1 or 2 big events, it's hard to make any conclusions about trends in those two. Lightning and heat-related fatalities have generally come down over the years. Their 10-year averages are lower than their 30-year averages. In contrast, the flooding 10-year average of 98 fatalities is a little bigger than the 30-year average, suggesting this problem is not improving. And when you break down recent flood fatality numbers by how they occurred, you find that half were in vehicles, usually people trying to cross flooded roads, a situation that's still way too common. Let's look at that a little closer. Here's a simplified but realistic way to think about a vehicle in water. A car's weight creates friction with the ground at the tires and basically holds the car in place. When water enters the picture, the surface becomes slippery, which reduces the friction, and water also introduces buoyancy that acts upward on the vehicle. It was Archimedes more than 2,000 years ago who first told us that this force equals the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Now, water weighs about 6,200 pounds per cubic foot, and cars take up a lot of space. Once some of the vehicle is submerged, the weight of the car is essentially reduced by the weight of the water it displaces. And as an example, let's use a 3,000-pound car and say water rises 6 inches up the body. A typical car might be 5.5 feet wide and 14 feet long. We'll do the math for you. That's enough volume of car to displace 2,400 pounds of water. So the car's net weight drops to just 600 pounds. And that doesn't account for water displaced by the tires. Now, if the water is moving, there's also a sideways force on the car that is proportional to the speed of the water squared. So if you double the speed, that increases the force by a factor of 4. And when that sideways force exceeds the net weight of the vehicle, the car floats away. And this doesn't even consider that water reduces friction, which makes the net weight even less. No wonder the National Weather Service aggressively warns not to underestimate the power of moving water. 6 inches can knock over an adult. 12 inches of fast-moving water can carry away a small car, while 18 to 24 inches can carry away most SUVs and vans. Indeed, the National Weather Service's slogan, "Turn around, don't drown," can't be repeated enough. Stay tuned. Our extended forecast is next.